Welcome back to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. President William Samoei Ruto is a man that is fighting very many battles at the same time. Today, the biggest conversation that is going on in Kenya is his war with Fredrick Ooko. Apparently, even today, he was summoned at the DCI, and you all know what happened there. But there is even a more serious battle that is going on within the country. And this is the suggestions by the Senate Majority Leader, Mr. Aaron Cheruiyot, who is suggesting that President William Samoei Ruto should find a way of crushing the cartels within the media fraternity. A few hours ago, he made such sentiments, and this did not run well with the media and with the Kenyan people. And he has really been criticized for this move. Now, the latest sentiments from Aaron Cheruiyot about this is this. He said that who lied to the managing directors of NTV and Citizen that only they reserve the right to critique others, and any Kenyan who holds a different opinion to their practice is an enemy. Such hypocrisy must not be tolerated in a progressive Kenya. No cartel is good anywhere. Now, apparently the Kenya Kwanza team believes that there is a cartel within the media fraternity, and I don't know what kind of cartel they're talking about. And so what President William Ruto has done is that he has delegated each and every general to handle a particular battle. The DCI has been charged to handle Fredrick Ooko and some of the state officers who worked under President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. On this particular one of the media, the Senate majority, Mr. Aaron Cheruiyot, has been tasked with the mandate to initiate and perpetuate a war between them. In fact, as we speak, fear has gripped very many media stations, because what starts like a joke, a statement from Aaron Cheruiyot, really is the manifestation of what the entire Kenya Kwanza fraternity feels. Someone is giving a very disturbing warning to the Kenya Kwanza team as far as crushing the media is concerned. And this is none other than Ngunyi Mutahi. Ngunyi has been a thorn in the flesh to this administration, and many a times he gives them free piece of advice. On this is what Ngunyi Mutahi had to say. He wrote to William Ruto, "Happy birthday, President Ruto. You can kill the messenger, but not the message. They stoned Stephen of the Bible. That did not stop the message of Christ. Leave the media alone." That is the piece of advice, or should I call it a warning, from Ngunyi Mutahi. Now, Mr. Aaron Cheruiyot's sentiments are very disturbing, and that is why you see Mutahi Ngunyi is addressing President Ruto instead of addressing Aaron Cheruiyot. Why? He knows very well that when your dog is barking, the owner of the dog should be asked to tame his dog and to tie it. So we all understand that the Senate Majority Leader is not speaking his individual minds, but this is the collective mind of the Kenya Kwanza team. How do we know this? We have seen the caution that they gave to Fredrick Ooko before they ascended to power, and now they make good their threats, and all of them, from the village supporter to the urban supporters, from the hustler in the village to the MPs and the deputy president of Kenya, the second in command in rank within the Kenya Kwanza team, they always have a collective responsibility, a collective opinion on something. They gave a warning to the media during the campaigns because they fell out during those times. And so we believe that this is one of the areas where they have a collective view on the media. Some of the media owners like Macharia openly supported Raila Amolo Odinga's bid to become the president, which, if you ask me from where I sit, is his democratic right. The fact that you own any media station does not bar you from supporting one of your favorite presidential candidates. And I think they carried this kind of bitterness to this end. And that is why, after Aaron Cheriot had indicated and suggested to President William Ruto to find a way of crushing the cartel within the media, the royal media and the nation media group did not take it kindly. They reacted very sharply. And that's why you see Aaron Cheriot is picking on them. And this is a revenge because of what happened during the campaigns. We all know that anybody who fell out within the Kenya Kwanza, with the Kenya Kwanza fraternity during the campaigns, if you did not support them, they are now picking them one at a time. Those who are working within the previous government and are lucky enough have just been relieved of their duties, and it ends there. Others who are very unlucky, like Fredrick Ooko, will always have sleepless nights because you do not know what they are thinking of you. The next morning they are breaking into your house. The following day they are calling you to record statements. So they are on a revenge mission, and this is why they are targeting the media. But let me tell you something. What might appear as a problem to the media is a problem to the whole nation, because it is the role of the media to unearth secret and clandestine motives that are happening within the country. Whenever there is a corruption within the country, it has been the norm of our media to unearth and to scrutinize and tell Kenyans what is happening. And so for them to start pointing fingers at the media raises a lot of eyebrows. Is there something sinister that they want to perpetuate and they don't want people to know? It really leaves a lot of speculation. This is coming at a time when Raila is calling for mass actions if William Ruto will not meet the conditions that he gave. The reducible minimum, including, and I think at the center of it, is lowering the cost of living. I saw after those demands, President William Ruto coming up with some sentiment that, in fact, some promises that he will now lower the cost of gas by June from, I don't know, 1,800 to 500 shillings, something which is very ridiculous. And they have instead now gone to their normal business of blame game. Because when Raila is telling them to bring down the cost of living, now they have started. The controller of budget came out and confessed that he was cajoled to sign, I don't know, some 40 billion Kenya shillings. And Rigathi Gachagua, the deputy president, also came up with startling allegations that he knows that between the time William Ruto was sworn in and the time that he took oath of office, over 24 billion shillings left the public coffers, and they were transported via some cargo plane to certain individual accounts. These are coming because they want to shift the blame game. And they want, because they know that mass action is now it's inevitable. From what I'm seeing, there is an air, there is a smell of mass action demonstrations. I saw it with the Meru University. I saw it when there was when Kenyans were protesting against China Square. If you see what is happening, you will realize that we are headed to mass action because people are suffering. And that is why Nguni Mutai is telling him that you can kill the messenger, but the message is there. Every Kenyan knows that we are suffering. There's lack of employment, shortage of food, drought, and insecurity. So even if you kill the media because of highlighting this, you will not kill the real problems that they're suffering from. So it is maybe because we are approaching mass action, they want Kenya to go on blackout so that no one will be showing the seriousness and the effect of the mass action. And that is why they have started this. Now the fear is this: a government that starts witch hunting individuals or institutions like the media is a dangerous administration, because once they are done with the media stations like the NTV, KTN, and Citizen, they will look for another enemy, and that will be the social media. Before we know it, we will be given instructions on how to use the social media. They will come up with some draconian laws. Before you post something, it must be verified, maybe by some government officials. And you all know how Kenyans love the social media. I want you to imagine going for a week without the social media, the jokes that we share, the seriousness that we share there, all the information that have been unearthed there, even classified information. This is the fear that if Kenyans are not careful, if they elect the administration to thwart the gains that Kenyans fought for, because this freedom of the media and freedom of association and all this did not come very easily. Some even shed their blood for it. And so it cannot be allowed to be watered down and diluted very easily the way this administration is trying to do. And Kenyans are called upon to ensure that they stand firm and resist those attempts. Because what the government will be doing is that they will be on a testing mode. They try and see what will happen. If it succeeds, they move to the next. The reason I'm saying that it is because of the inevitable mandamandos that we are about to witness. At first, I heard the Ruto government trying to trivialize Raila's call for the mass action and the mandamandos, and they thought it was not going to yield any fruit. But their reaction today points out to something else. They have banned all the Kamkunji consultations in Jacaranda, Givenchy. In fact, today, the Jacaranda guys woke up and found that they had cut down the tree that they always, get solace under its shade, just to ensure, because they had banned, they had arrested people and intimidated them, but they continued to go there to sit down and talk about matters in the country. So they decided to cut down that tree. That tells me that they now feel the heat of the seriousness of Raila's calls. I want to agree with Mutahi Ngwinyi. Instead of trying to silence the voices that speak about the ills in the society, look for a way of curing these ills. I know it is possible only if William Ruto will be serious. The day William Ruto will wake up and say that I want to engage all the stakeholders, I can assure you that he will not be thinking of silencing all the voices that speak about the ills. And at the center of it is just trying to listen to Raila. Not to sit down to share power. To sit down to look at the high cost of living. Because I know what makes Raila very angry is the fact that he had a manifesto. There were things that he wanted to implement. And I know they must not agree 100% on what they need to do. But on the cost of living, if you ask me, they have almost a blueprint. And if they sit together and share, it will be for the good of the common man. But the problem with our society is that everyone is looking at who will take the political mileage. And that is the problem. If there is anyone who sits close to our president, the efforts that he's engaging in looking for Fredrick Ooko, thwarting the media, arresting those who are in the Kamkunjis, if that effort can be channeled, that energy can be channeled to the right direction, I can show you that it will yield significant results. So I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but this idea of witch hunting, and especially the media, is something that to me must be resisted. It must stop, or it must be stopped, whichever way. That is my take.